Hey, good morning, friends. Welcome again to the J Talk Morning Show. Welcome. It's good to have you on board with me this morning. Hope you're getting up and at it this morning. Get your day started. We got some amazing things going on in the world, and it's only going to get better as soon as you get up, get out, and get at it, okay? So make it happen. Here we go. Coffee check right now. Blessed, let's turn that around, is the man of faith. Blessed is the man of faith. I have many cups. It's like I wear many hats. But it is great to be with you this morning. Thank you for joining me on the J Talk Morning Show. And we're going to get started with part two of what we talked about yesterday. And let's put that down below. There we go. The power of leadership from substandard to excellence. Now, this is, of course, like all my short talks on the J Talk Morning Show, is there's so much more goes into it than I can just express in the few minutes I have with you each morning, and that's why a lot of these things are actually developed into the programs, and I've written on this, a part of a blog I wrote. Actually, this is taken from one of my blogs, and this is something that every leader needs to grasp. Every leader needs to grasp, but every individual who aspires to be a great leader also needs to become more aware of where they are and what they need to do to get to where they want to be, who they are, and what they need to do to get to be who they want to be. Okay, so that's what developing our 7 levels of leadership is all about. And the first 2 is personal and peer. And I always throw that out there because those 2 they're consistent throughout the threads of leadership, all the way up to the pinnacle. So you've got to be constantly developing yourself. If you're not developing yourself, you're not going to be as an effective leader and influencer and leave a greater impact that you possibly could. So always growing. Last night I had an incredible conversation with an incredible man who is a leader in his own right, and he's got contracts with some of our government. I won't go into any detail really on this, but we learned so much from each other, and I learned so much from him, and amazing man, and I'll protect his identity. I won't even give his name right now, but what an incredible man that I had a chance to have a conversation with last night on some of the leadership development going on that he's able to bring to the table at like a top level, a high level. And I may have said too much already. There may be some G-men knocking on my door. No, but he's always been growing, expanding. When I first met him years ago, and he's getting involved, and he was in the ministry for a while, and still is actually, but just becoming that person who is developing leaders in great places. And he's grown so much, and so proud of this gentleman. But he's always growing, and by doing that, he's established himself. And more doors have been opened up for him because he constantly grew. And probably the number one takeaway that I took away from our conversation was relationships matter. Relationships matter. And that's not the premise for this whole talk today, but relationships matter. So who you surround yourself with may pay off later, not now. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. Somebody that you are influencing today is going to remember you, and they're going to come back to you, and they're going to seek you out. I had that happen yesterday. A young lady, a different that I hadn't heard from in a long time, reached out to me for some advice, and it was great to hear from this person. And so we talked it back and forth, and actually was doing texting instead of a phone conversation. And thank goodness for texting, right? You don't have to run down to the corner to a payphone to have a conversation anymore. You youngins, you have no clue what that's about, or the structure. And at the time, you thought that was a pretty cool thing. You could just pick up a phone on the street corner and call somebody. Now you can just pull it out of your pocket and call somebody. Text, FaceTime, anything. It's just, you guys got it made. We haven't made. But this was a person that I met a long time ago, and they came back to me for some support and encouragement and some guidance. And that's what it is. That's influence. You're increasing your influence. But how do you do that? build those relationships, and build up your knowledge base. Build up your experiences and your knowledge base, right? So it's got to stay on top of that. All right, so let's get to the talk that we're having right now, and I've got to get some more of my Java. Okay. So yesterday we talked about leadership, the power of leadership from substandard to excellence. And I mentioned Jack Welch. You know, he was the former CEO of General Electric, and he talked about good business leaders create vision, articulate the vision, and passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion. Okay, what he's basically doing is emphasizing the role of visionary leadership in driving excellence and success. Okay, you got to be able to inspire and motivate your teams, right? Um, and that's what we talked about yesterday. Today, I want to talk about, and we're going to carry this conversation on because I got more points I want to make with you on these. Today, you know, substandard people will equate to substandard production and profits. Substandard. Now, you as a leader get to be part of the recruitment, the interview process, the retention, the training, the influence, the impact. You get to mold how you want your organization to be as a leader. So when substandard leadership prevails, individuals are not encouraged to reach their full potential. They are not provided with the necessary support, guidance, and inspiration to grow and excel. Consequently, their productivity and their output suffer, leading to substandard production. Okay. If you're not providing them the support, the guidance, the resources, the tools, the education, the opportunities, if you're not providing that for your team members, leaders, listen up. If you're not providing that for them, okay, they're going to get complacent. They're going to settle in. And what you're going to get is good enough. You're going to get good enough. And hopefully you get that. If you don't invest in your team members, if you don't invest in these people that too many organizations like to call employees, you see, employees will not give their very best. They won't. Team members will. Team members are invested in the organization because they understand their value, because their value has been expressed and shared and shown by the leadership. Do you value your team members? Do they know you value your team members? Listen, we have to, as leaders, know and understand that when we're dealing with people, we're dealing with relationship building. If you don't tell your wife how wonderful she is, if you don't tell her how grateful you are for her, and I'll say this husbands to wives and wives to husbands, okay? It goes both ways. If you don't let them know how much you are grateful, how much you appreciate them for everything they do, and you got to give process praise, not just people praise. You got to understand positive psychology to know the difference there. People praise is just saying great job. Okay, well, that's great. Process praise is, well, why did they do a great job? Specifically, hey, fantastic job on that project you did. It was absolutely amazing. You know, our in your personal relationship, hey, way to go, champ. I knew you could do this. Look at you. You worked very hard. You got up early. You stayed up late. You studied. You know, way to go. You got to get process praise. So people understand, well, it's nice to be appreciated, but what am I being appreciated for? And if you use process praise, leaders, then your team members or your family members understand that you've been paying attention. Understand that if you are paying attention, that means I matter. I matter. So you want to give that to your team members. You want to give that to your family members. Guys, you want to give that to your wives. And wives, you want to give that to your husbands as well. You need that. That's part of it. Relationship building is a continuous action, continuous activity that doesn't end just because you got them in the room. It doesn't end. The relationship building doesn't end just because you said I do, walk down the aisle, you put a ring on it. It doesn't end. You still continue to build the relationship. It doesn't end when you give somebody a job and you put them in a position, okay, and say, okay, go to work. It doesn't end. You got to have the relationship building, connect with your people, turn them from employees to team members. Maybe I should do a talk on that. Turning your people from employees to team members. That's a good one. I think I'll do that. Okay, so John Maxwell, one of my mentors, one of my many mentors. We talked about him last night, actually, on that call I was just alluding to earlier. John Maxwell, renowned leadership expert in the world, written many, many books. If you don't know who John Maxwell, Google him, okay? He once said that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. I'm going to say that again very slowly, okay? And I'm not saying it because I'm questioning your integrity. Your intelligence, okay? I'm saying that because each one is a point to be made. A leader is one who knows the way. What does that mean? The leader has been there. The leader has experience. The leader has not only the experience, but has the education, okay? They are learned and they have traveled it. They have walked the walk. They know the way. Okay. A leader is one who knows the way. Goes the way. A leader is one who goes the way. In other words, they lead by example. Follow me. They don't say, you go. They say, let's go. Okay. Boom. Give me a mic. They don't say, you go. They say, let's go. Okay. They go the way. And their example is one that you can follow. A leader keeps himself in check, both on and off the clock, both in front of and incognito, behind the scenes, keeps yourself in check. Integrity is never, ever compromised. As a matter of fact, I would say this. If you compromise your integrity in anything, you compromise your character in everything. If you compromise your integrity, which is a character trait, if you compromise your integrity, which is a cornerstone of character, if you compromise your integrity in any way, you compromise your character in every way. And then John says, and shows the way. He says, let's go. Let's go. Here's how you do it. I will provide you the facilitation, the resources, the education, the experience, the counseling, the coaching, the mentoring. I will provide this for you as a leader. And leaders, I would say, as you provide these things for your team members, make sure you're also being provided that from someone else. Build a relationship up as well as down and out. That's what leadership is. You're connecting with people, not just the people that are your team members that you have charge of. You also are connecting with people that you are in charge with. And you are also connecting with people that you are in charge under. Okay? So above, below, and around you, you are always connecting. How do I connect with this person? Build those relationships. If you want to be a better leader, follow a better leader. Follow a better leader. So John's quote says, so what this does highlights the importance of leadership in guiding individuals towards success and enabling them to achieve their full potential. Sometimes people don't know what their full potential is. That's where you as a leader get to come in and introduce them to the possibilities of their full potential. You don't know their full potential. You can look at somebody and say, hey, I see great potential in you. You should be saying that to everybody because everybody has great potential. Everybody has greater potential. They can become more than they currently are. I can become more than I currently am. I recognize that. I have that awareness. So I have to take action towards achieving my personal best. And I said this quote a few days ago, and I don't know who came up with it, but it's brilliant. And said, "At the top of every mountain is the bottom of the next mountain. You can climb. You can reach the pinnacle of your growth. You can get to this level and say, I have made it. But then, boom, there's another mountain to climb. Climb that mountain. Start. What do I need to get to the top of this mountain? Grow. And as a leader, you should be encouraging that with your team members. What can you do as a leader that can help them grow, that can influence them in such a way, that can resource them? I know you may not have all the resources, and that's why it's important to know where to go. One of the things we always have to say in the Army is this. When asked a question or asked for something, I do not know, sir, but I will find out. And you go find out. I do not have that resource, sir, but I will go find that resource. And you go get the resource. As a leader, you are doing that for your team members. You are also encouraging them to think for themselves. You should encourage them to be resourceful. Not just seeking the resource from you, but encourage them to be resourceful. That's what empowers them and helps them grow and develop that confidence that they can do more than they currently are doing. Focus on your employees. Make them better. Make them team members. But you got to be team leader. People are looking for you to lead. People deserve good leadership. Give them that leadership. Constantly growing, becoming a better leader, a better version of you. And when you do that, that will show up in all aspects of your life. All aspects of your life. So we got questions, we got comments. Listen, we got Catherine. Catherine, good morning, my friends. Good to see you on again. Fantastic. Hope you're enjoying that book. What a great book. I just got more copies of it yesterday, actually, because I'm going to be giving out to some special people. So if you don't have that book, let me tell you, Jamie Kern Lima just came out with a new book called Worthy. You want to get that book, folks. You want to get that book. And while it is in the language speaking more towards women, it's practical for men to learn and to grow, especially if you have issues feeling unworthy. So get that book. I may get the link to it and put it in my comments, actually. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So if you're watching this live right now, okay, the link will be in the comments coming up after this broadcast. If you're watching this on the rebroadcast, go down to the comments and you'll find the link to Jamie Kern Lima's book, and I will share that with you, okay? All right, my friends, it's great to have you on board with me. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Let me put my ticker on the bottom. You got any concerns, questions, thoughts, whatever, just there's my contact info at the very bottom there, a website. Check it out. And check out the website, too. Tell me what you think about the website design and layout. I did all that myself, and kind of a creative. So I like doing the stuff and building the stuff myself, and use all the resources I can. So check that out and sign up for our email list. We don't spam you. Okay. We don't throw tons of emails at you. Okay. I promise you. All right. So that's what we got for you, my friends. Thank you so very much for being with me this morning on the J Talk Morning Show. And we are going to sign on out of here. Let me turn that down just a little bit. There we go. And see you the next time, where we're going to pick up the next point. I want to make part 3 of this talk, the Substandard Power of Leadership from Substandard to Great. I didn't have it up there for me to read. The Power of Leadership from Substandard to Great, or from bad to excellent, from good to awesome. Okay? We're going to catch up again tomorrow morning right here on the J Talk Morning Show. Remember, as always, my friends, get up, get out, and let's get at it. The world needs what you have today, my friend. Make a difference. God bless you. Bye-bye.